Testing.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody? Everybody's getting their last coffee up there. Welcome, everybody. I'm David Pingalore. Many of you are not from the area, but I'm the sports anchor at KTLA here in Southern California. So I just want to welcome everybody. It sounds like everybody's quieting down, so we can kind of just get this thing started. Is everybody excited to be here? Yes. So we have, I know some of you have coffee in you, so we're going to hype you up just a little bit more as we play this video right here. We call it like the hype machine.
For the first time in history, 2 of the top 10 solar companies in the nation are partnering to bring you the best solar solution on the market. Freedom Forever's best-in-class installation and post-sale solutions, coupled with Vivint's innovative software tools for pre-sale, come together in a way that will champion the dealer and customer experience. Together, Freedom Forever and Vivint are revolutionizing the solar industry.
Did that hype you up? So today, 2 of the nation's top solar companies, as everybody is familiar with, of course, Freedom Forever and Vivint, are partnering in an effort to rapidly advance the adoption of residential solar energy in the United States by delivering unmatched value to the solar power consumer. How cool is that? I mean, that's doing some great things. So next up, after the hype video you just saw, I'm going to introduce Paul Dixon, who I just met. He is the Chief Revenue Officer at Vivint Solar. In this position, he's responsible for directing the systems, processes, and solutions that make it possible for Vivint Solar to deliver lower cost power to homeowners. Now, as a member of the founding team of Vivint Solar, Paul was instrumental in creating the company's business thesis and has comprehensive knowledge and experience in financial and operations strategy. Put your hands together for Paul.
What's going on, everybody? We're super excited about this partnership. I think a lot of you are probably wondering, what is the partnership? What does it mean? In short, the strategy and the idea is to take all of the good of Freedom and all of the good of Vivint Solar, put them together to create the most seamless and streamlined process for dealers out in the industry. So we're really excited about it. I was talking with some of my team earlier this morning, and it's interesting to look and talk with the dealers. Last night we had a dinner, and we met probably 30 or 40 of the different dealer CEOs. And it was really fun to talk with everybody and see their companies and where they're going with them and their strategies. And at Vivint Solar, you look at it today and there's 4,000 employees and it's a big company, but it wasn't always that way. I started Vivint Solar with 3 other guys. And there were 4 of us in a room. We started Vivint Solar. Who has less than 4 employees? Yeah, you have less than 4? So 2 of you, 3 of you? You guys know what I'm talking about. It's tiny, right? You got to do everything. Everybody does every job. You just kind of hustle. You get stuff done. In the early days, we kept track of all of our customers on a whiteboard. So we wrote their name down, their address. That's how we tracked stuff. I remember we had a girl come into our office and we were talking, and she leaned against the whiteboard and erased like half of our customers. And I'm like, oh shit, like we got to fix this. So we built an IT process and we started investing in the company. And we got early traction. We started selling really well. And we ended up taking the company public and raising about $250 million that we've then invested in building our business. And that investment has gone into building systems and processes around creating customers and making the sales process as easy as possible. So the way we raise our capital, the terms of our capital, our sales processes, our canvassing tools, our incentives, our competitions are all geared towards the sales rep out creating customers. And when we looked at the industry, we've grown the business where today, on a good day, we install 1 megawatt. So every day, we're installing about 1 megawatt. And that's our business today. And we're happy with it. We're excited about it. It's growing. It's going well. And then we started losing reps here and there. And some of you guys are those reps. And reps were leaving. Yeah, it's not funny. No, I'm just kidding. So reps were leaving, and they were starting their own dealers. And at first, we're like, dealers suck. We don't like dealers. We're battling against dealers. And we quickly realized dealers are awesome. They're the future. And being an entrepreneur before Vivint Solar and as an entrepreneur inside Vivint Solar, I love the entrepreneurial spirit. I love supporting it, and I love all the enablement that's wrapping around this industry to grow the dealer network. So we strategized as a corporate team, and rather than battling against dealers, we decided to embrace the dealer model and figure out how we could take the hundreds of millions of dollars that we've invested as a company to enable Vivint to have this amazing sales and install process and leverage that and enable dealers to have it. And we couldn't go and widely spread it and just partner with anybody. So over the last 9 to 10 months, we've been practicing really with a handful of pilot dealers on the sell side. and sampling out our dealer process, making sure the tools work. Troy, who you meet later this afternoon, is going to walk through exactly what those tools are and why it enables people to sell more accounts. But the idea is we're going to take all of those tools and processes and partner with Freedom. And as we evaluated the market, we said we want to find a master installer that's the best in class in great markets, knows how to take care of customers, has a great reputation, knows how to take care of its employees, and knows how to take care of its customers. And as we evaluated all the master installers in the country that we could find, Freedom kept coming to the top of the list. So hands together for Freedom. Someone's got their notes up here, and I keep trying to go to them and read their notes instead of my own. But this is good, whoever's it is. So when we found Freedom, we said, hey, there's this master installer that knows how to do what they do really well. And if we can take our piece, our per rep averages are 3 times the industry average, meaning our reps install 3 times more than a typical dealer. And it's largely because of our tools. And you guys already have the back-end process with install dialed, which is awesome through Freedom, meaning you get referrals and fast cycle times. And we anticipate that this combination and this partnership is going to put a lot more dollars in all of the dealers' pockets and enable people to focus on what they're great at. We're great at creating sales and moving accounts to that point. Freedom's great at driving accounts through the installation and PTO process. So we think the partnership is just phenomenal. We're excited about it. A little bit on the industry for us. We're really excited about the industry. We think the industry has massive growth potential. We talk a lot about it in comparing it to cell phones. Who has a landline at their house right now? Don't raise your hands if you do. It's super embarrassing. I'm just kidding. Who had a landline growing up in their house? Everybody. So everybody used to have a fixed line at their house, and today no one does. And it's because a better technology came along. It's a cell phone. It's a way better technology. In today's market, power is the same thing. The exact same thing is happening. I was just talking with our MC and explaining to him how solar works. I'm surprised Brett hasn't sold him, but I'm going to sell him. And we'll run it through Freedom, probably. I'm just kidding. But I was talking with him, and I was explaining California's power, for example. They create the power in Nevada, in Utah, in Colorado, and Wyoming, and then they transmit and distribute that stuff across the country to get it to California. It costs them more just to move the power from where they create it to where they consume it at the home than it costs Freedom or us to sell, install, manufacture, and put a little power plant on someone's roof. It makes no sense to get power the way we've historically gotten power. And so when you look at market adoption, we've been in an early adopter stage, meaning it's hard to sell. People are nervous about aesthetics, what it's going to look like. Over the next 5 years, solar adoption is going to follow a trend similar to cell phone technology. And in 5 years, you can stand in a room and say, hey, who had solar on their house 5 years ago? You're going to have those 3 weird guys that raise their hand, right? And in 5 years, you're going to say, who has solar today? And every hand is going to go up. It's cheaper. It makes sense for consumers. The other big benefit, and the reason we had a conversation, Brett and David and I, we were talking at dinner last night, and the reason all of us are here is because of the environmental benefits. Everybody can get a job and you can go make money. Making money is not terribly complicated or hard. But making money in an environment where you impact people's lives and better the environment is really challenging. And there's a lot of people that would give up what they're doing just to have a noble cause. And this is an amazing thing for our country, for the environment. It's an incredible thing to be a part of. So I'm really grateful to be here working in this industry. We have strong beliefs that it's going to have massive growth potential. From a partnership perspective, just a couple things on Vivint Solar. We've been in business since 2011. As I said, our growth is about 1 megawatt installed a day, and we've raised over $4 billion. Today, we have $250 million cash on our balance sheet, and customers today, if we shut our business down with the PPAs that we hold and own, they owe us over $3.5 billion. And so Vivint Solar is not going anywhere as a finance platform, and as that front-end sales partner for Freedom, we're going to be here. We will be the dominant provider of solar in the country, and we're super excited about this partnership. So thank you guys, and really look forward to working with all of you. Next, I just want to introduce our CEO, David Bywater. David joined us. He was the COO of Xerox. I don't know if you guys have heard of Xerox, one of the largest companies in America. After that, he joined our sister business, Vivint Smart Home, and was the COO there and ran all of operations. And about 3 years ago, Vivint Solar had gone through a transaction with SunEdison, where we were looking at getting purchased by SunEdison. SunEdison went from $8 billion to bankrupt. The deal fell apart. The company was really struggling, candidly. And David came in as our CEO and did a complete turnaround of the business. And he's been an amazing mentor. He's a great friend. He's a phenomenal leader. What does his bio say about him? I've got a lot of stories about David if you guys want them. But sincerely, one of the most sincere people that I've ever worked around. He's an absolute machine and driving results. Love the guy to death. So welcome, David.
Freedom, how are you? It's kind of weak, Brett. I thought you'd get more of that. Freedom, how are you guys today? Many of you, what Paul didn't say is I'm actually his body double. So, when they need a physique, they always have me kind of step in for him when he's not around. It's pretty hard. My hair is almost as good as Paul's, so I love working with Paul. He is a phenomenal partner, a great friend. He has helped us tremendously over the years at Vivint Solar. The thing I love about Paul is that he's never satisfied with where we are. It's where we need to go. And he's helped push us as a company, rethink things, and really has been helping us break kind of new turf for us. And he's a phenomenal partner. Great mind, has a great passion for this industry, and just really, really appreciate you, Paul. I cannot tell you how excited we are about this partnership. To Brett, to Eagle, to all of the folks that we met at Freedom, it's interesting. We're pretty selective about who we work with. We're pretty selective with who uses our name and uses our resources, just like all of you are. I mean, I'm amazed at how impressive your people are. Last night I had a chance to meet with many of you and talk with many of you, and I love the partners you have working with you, Brett. And you guys are as discerning as we are. You get to choose every day who you're going to partner with and who can help your companies grow. And so we took a lot of time with Brett and his team, and we really are looking forward to a really, really productive and a great partnership. And the reason why is because we think we've done a lot of things right at Vivint Solar, but we still have a lot of things to still get right. There's still a lot to learn, and I think we're going to learn a lot from this organization and look forward to that, and hopefully we can bring some great things for Freedom to learn from as well. And collectively, our goal is to dominate. Our goal is to dominate this industry. When I came over to Vivint Solar 3 years ago, the industry, if you guys recall, was kind of in this heyday. It was crazy growth, and people were doing things that when I came in from the outside, I thought, this is crazy. People are just growing for growth's sake. And it doesn't make sense. And my very first earnings call, I got on with our investors, and I said, we're out. We're going down a different path. And people were like, what are you talking about, you're out? And I said, we are focused on one thing, and that is to build the most sustainable, best-run company in the industry. And I may not be the biggest, but I will be the best. And we have a maniacal focus on that, and that's been our focus from day one. And as a result, we wanted to make sure that we evolved in the industry. And we've come a long way. We used to be single channel, single product, single price. And today we are multi-channel, multi-product, differentiated pricing, depending upon the value of the systems that we put on. And we are very, very focused on making sure that our sales force and our collective sales force has the best tools to help them excel. If I think about your jobs, it can be quite lonely. I remember the first time, and Brett has run a lot of companies, I've run a lot of companies. I remember the first time that I was actually handed the role, and I'm sure, Brett, you felt the same way. I was like, this is the most lonely thing I've ever done in my life. Any of you guys get that? Have you ever had that? Leadership? Is leadership all tickles and giggles? No, it's not, right? It can be the most lonely thing in the world when you're actually in the crosshairs making the decisions. And then as you try to scale the business, you learn that there's just different challenges day in and day out. And I know what Brett is focused on and what I'm focused on is helping you scale your business the right way, do it the right way, and be successful. And our goal is to make sure you are as sustainable as possible for as long as you want to be in this industry. And there is no better industry in the world to be in than what we're in. It does not get better than this. I am sure you feel the same way, but our employees love coming to work. They love the impact that it has. They're proud to tell their family and friends what they do. They earn an incredible income, and they love it. And, I am committed to make sure that the industry grows and thrives, and that it's here for the long term. And I'm super excited about that. As Paul said, we're a public company, and Blackstone is our largest investor, and it's been great because they support us in doing it for the long term and making sure everything we do it the right way. We did this securitization this last summer. It was the largest securitization in the industry, $811 million, at the best terms ever done. And I actually love the process. They came in and they look at everything. They evaluate everything. It's the best firms in the industry. They evaluate your customers, your installs, your default rates. They do everything up and down. And when they got finished, it was interesting. On our installs, we have great pride in our installs like Brett does. They said, you passed 100% of your installs, you passed. We do 100% QA on every install. And they looked at our default rates. They were the lowest in the industry. And they just said, you guys are doing it the right way. And we said, well, we appreciate that. We can still do better. And that's our focus. And when we thought about partnering with Freedom, we thought there's great things that we can learn from Freedom. We'll do better. And there's things that we can do for Freedom to help them do things better. And that's our focus. That's our commitment to you guys, is that we'll listen to you every day. We'll work hard to make sure that your teams are as successful as possible. We'll make sure your customers are as happy as possible. And we all know the value of this business is in the lifetime value of your customers. And so what we're really focused on is making sure we're customer-centric and that we're giving the customers exactly what they want. And if you do that and you treat them the right way, we have a 20 to 35-year opportunity to delight these customers. And that means phase one, you monetize and you help them. And then you earn the right for phase two and phase three and phase four. So we view this as, how do you create lifetime loyal customers that will allow us to bring behind the meter solutions to them over and over and over again. And this evolution that we're on, they trust you and your teams to be their partners. And we are going to focus maniacally to make sure that they're delighted with this combined partnership and that you get the benefits of doing that. The great thing about our industry is that it's evolving. And, Brett and I were having a great conversation last night. And as you look forward, there's going to be a shakeout in this industry. There are going to be those who do it right and those who did it wrong. And the only ones that are going to be around are the ones that did it right. And that's what we're committed to making sure that happens with every interaction. And what's so beautiful about that is this is such an amazing opportunity, because what we do is we help consumers become partners, co-investors in the grid. And there is nothing more powerful. When you think about the solutions that we need to bring to the market, there is a world of difference between being a customer and being a co-investor. And all of our customers are co-investors in the grid. And what's beautiful about that is we help them and their propensity to do things, to have a smart home, have the most efficient production of power and the most efficient consumption of power, is the solution of the future. And so as we work together to do it right and bring those solutions to the market, we think that you guys will absolutely dominate your peers who don't do it that way, and that you will be the ones standing and thriving and benefiting tremendously every year going forward. So we're super excited about that. The last thing I wanted to say is how grateful I am for the Freedom Organization. I appreciate you guys taking the time to get to know us and letting us introduce ourselves to you. We are super, super committed to making Freedom one of the gems in this industry. And we'll do our part. We won't get it right every time, and I'll tell you guys that right now. We're humble enough to acknowledge that. We run fast, We work hard. I think we get it right 9 out of 10 times. On the one time we screw up, we'll acknowledge it, we'll get it fixed, and then we won't get it wrong the next time. So, you know, we will do everything we can to be a great partner, and we'll try to we'll try to earn your business every day, and we'll try to delight you and exceed expectations. So, just thank you for your time and look forward to the future. Thanks. Dave?
All right, this is the fun part. So Brett up here, he's never met a microphone he doesn't like. He loves talking to the microphone. Just to give a quick how I met Brett, it's been about 10 years. I don't know how many in the room know this, but he has owned and been part of 2 arena football teams, the Orlando Predators and the LA Kiss. How many people know this? And I met Brett about 10 years ago. I was working for CBS in Orlando and partnered up with the CBS affiliate there and did the play-by-play games. Now, he has asked me not to tell any bad stories. I have no bad stories, Brett, about you at all. I know everything that you've done has been very successful, and certainly being here today, I have learned in the short time how important solar is, and talking to Brett last night and today, and how he is excited about what everybody is doing here in this new project that he's been a part of for a few years now. So. Now I have to introduce you. I have no bad stories. 0. So you ready to come on up?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody knows Brad. I mean, we've done radio shows together in Orlando. You see his background right there, and everything that this man has done, I know, has been a success. And being here today, and he called me up Friday, put this together. Can you come out and MC, and I said, yeah, I'll be there. So, come on up.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Wow. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully you're as excited as me to be here today. Today is a momentous day for Freedom Forever and also Vivint. And one thing I want to do is I want to start off by just giving a shout out to all of our branches. We're live streaming today's event, and so we have everyone in Dublin, in Fresno, in LA, in Phoenix, in Vegas, in Colorado, and also our new office in Illinois. They're watching this. And one of the things that I'm committed to in 2019 is we need to do a better job supporting our branches. A lot of times they don't know what's going on in headquarters, and we're gonna try to do events like this to communicate with them. So I just want to give a shout out to all the branches that are not physically here. You guys are amazing. You guys are out in the field doing all the work on the roofs. Thank you. The other thing I want to do is just talk to our staff who's in the back. I am humbled and honored, all right, to be a leader here at Freedom. And we talk a lot about servant leadership. And I see you guys doing it on a daily basis. And I'll see things that happen and how you guys handle adversity when somebody is maybe not nice on our CRM or a podio, and how you guys handle it with just dignity. And it's amazing that you're out there and you're providing that servant leadership on a daily basis. And for those of you who don't, I mean, servant leadership, a lot of people are talking about it today, but ultimately that's just being more selfless and less selfish, putting everyone in your department above yourself. And we do, I think, a really good job here at Freedom, and the people that have embraced that have really flourished in our organization. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am really humbled and honored with you guys. I see it on a daily basis. On Sunday, I walked in. It happened to be my 50th birthday. I took my kids in. They were all in town to show them the new office. And ultimately, I get in there. There's like half of dealer support are in there trying to get jobs out of hold to get them built. That is amazing. All right. we had installation teams going, you know what? It's been raining a lot in Northern California. Do you guys mind if we install in the rain? And I'm like, I don't want to go 5 feet outside my front door to get in my car when it's raining. These guys want to go out and put in a 10-hour day on a roof raining. That is amazing. I thank you guys for that. And I believe it was either the Dublin or the Fresno office. They're the guys that are asking to do that. So that is amazing. Another crazy thing that's humbling is we had an actual crew do 3 installs in one day. And I remember, I am a guy who, you know, if you guys know me, I love my financial models. And a couple years ago, I'm like, is there any way we could figure out a way to install 2 jobs in a day? Because the economics would work so much better when you start looking at financial modeling. And most people said, no, you really can't do that. And here we are 2 years later, and we have crews asking us to do 3 installs a day. I believe they did about 19 kW in 3 installs, which is amazing. So I want to just give them a hand. I also want to thank David and Paul. You guys did such an amazing job, and you guys are such great speakers, and I've had a chance to meet and get to know you guys a lot more in the last few days and the last few months. But I want to tell you a quick story about Paul. Paul came into our office, and I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm not going to lie, I was absolutely mesmerized by his hair. I couldn't even focus on what he was saying. And then this morning, I get up, and I notice I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm trying to get ready for this event, and I put a second round of gel in my hair. And I realize I have hair envy, all right? I also realize that it's never gonna look like his. So that's amazing. So I wanna start off by just talking a little bit about milestones, all right? The Freedom Forever family of companies achieved a major milestone in 2018 where we exceeded 100 million in revenue. So thank you everyone for making that happen. And I already mentioned my 50th birthday, so I want to tell you a little bit about a personal milestone that I had on Sunday. And my family and my wife, who's the one in the red hair down there, she's really easy to spot. She made a book for me that talked about 50 years of beautiful memories. And I'm going through it, and it's pretty amazing. And I'm not gonna lie, brought tears to my eyes. I was looking at pictures of my mom who passed away 5 years ago, and I'm just reading a lot of people in my life that I've impacted, and they had to write, what they admired about me. And so I really then kind of stopped at one of my sons. His name is Sale. He's in Raleigh, Durham. He wrote, and I'm just gonna read you an excerpt, and he was talking about how he admired my intensity and work ethic. And I'm gonna read it verbatim out of here. He said, "The thing I admire about your work ethic and intensity is I've never met anybody else in my entire life who is devoted and hardworking as you are. If you admitted to the family tomorrow that you have been taking Ritalin or Adderall every day for the last 20 years, I would have to ask you if you've been taking twice the recommended dosage." And first of all, I want to state that I do not take any stimulants other than coffee, all right? But it's funny, all right? When you have an event like your 50th birthday, it causes you to reflect about everything that you've done in your life and the people that you've impacted. And that's a good thing, all right? Obviously, I'd rather be 40 or 30, but it creates a sense of urgency that's out there. I am worried about the next 20 years of the legacy that I'm going to create, all right, for my God, my family, but also our company here. And I'm really, really committed to doing that. It also made me think that we've grown so fast over the last few years that over the last year, we've hired 50% of our employees. And a lot of times we're moving so fast, we don't have a time to reflect on what we've been able to do, which is pretty amazing. So I wanted to kind of talk about how we got here. All right, so it started in 2011 with a gentleman right at the front, Greg Albright, Incorporated. As Freedom Solar Services, you see the original logo right there, Freedom Solar. So then was incorporated in December of 2011. filed a zero tax return, did no business in 2011, but we can say we've been around as long as Vivint, all right, because of that. In 2012, they did about $300,000 in revenue. And in that, they were subcontracting out the installs, so that only comes out to about 10 to 12 installs for the year. Then in 2013, company did their first installations, did about $500,000 in revenue, which is about 20 installs. Then in 2014, you saw the company triple in size to $1.7 million, which is about 70 installs. And then we get to 2015, which is a really special year for me. All right, I had just turned 46. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm a former private equity guy. I've invested in 20 plus companies in 7 different industries. And I just had the opportunity to sell my last company. And I'm sitting there going, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? All right, I'm 46 years old. I've done some really cool things. I've had some really nice economic success, but what type of impact have I made in my life? And I've had some awesome companies, but I was thinking I can do more. And so I really prayed about it, all right? And I decided that I was gonna go down the road and I was gonna become a pastor. So I started looking at seminaries. I realized I could probably, graduate from seminary in about 18 months. I would be 48 years old. And I wanted to spend the rest of my life really making an impact. And right as I'm getting to push the button to enroll in seminary, all of a sudden my wife called me in and she goes, hey, I just want to talk to you a little bit. I want to talk to you about, I know your real goal is to make an impact on people. And I'm not saying that you won't do a great job as a pastor and grow a great church because that's what you do, but ultimately, I think you can use your business experience to make even a bigger societal impact if you found the right industry. And I said, well, great, that sounds great, but I mean, how many industries can you find where you can do so much good? And then 2 unrelated events in the past week after she had that conversation with me, 2 people said, I love renewable energy and solar. I knew nothing about it. I am not an environmentalist by nature, knew nothing. I Googled solar energy. Being a private equity guy, I started going, hey, this is pretty interesting. Look at the growth. Look at the potential. Less than 1% of the country has solar. And then I ultimately started looking at annual reports. So I started reading hundreds of pages. I remember looking at Sun Edison. All right, I remember looking at Sunrun was going public at the time, Solar City, and I go, this is pretty cool. All right, I can actually do some good. So let me look into this whole climate change thing. And so somebody recommended An Inconvenient Truth, and I watched that, and it really had an impact. And that's where I said, hey, my wife was right. All right, I can make more of an impact. Now, I will tell you, I'm not sure her real motivation. Her real motivation might have been that I'm an intense guy, and me being at home, being in seminary for 18 months was probably too much for her to handle. She's never admitted that to me, but I'm pretty sure that was behind it. But it's one of those things that it's amazing. And I'm so thankful that I did this. And I remember thinking, am I gonna regret this when I turn 50? Because I knew my window was closing. But I couldn't be any more excited to be here and serve you. So that takes you back to 2015. I came in June, the middle of the year. We did about $4 million in revenue. We opened up our second branch in Fresno, moved headquarters from Lake Elsinore to Murrieta. And I spent that first 6 months just immersing myself in the business. And I can tell you, this was my 8th industry that I came into. And I have never seen an industry that lacked character, integrity, and competence. It was the most underwhelming group of competitors I have seen. Vivint's not excluded in that. And it was mind-boggling to me. So I had my own ideas. I thought we would come in, we'd really focus on finance, but I realized we really needed to focus on post-sale operational excellence. We neglected the pre-sale part of it, but we're gonna really focus on getting jobs installed, doing them right, installing processes, which we now have over 800 standard operating procedures in the company. Mostly thanks to Valentina Roses, who's not here, who's at the Vegas branch. And so that's really been our focus for the last 3 years. So let's move forward to 2016. 2016, we exploded. Revenue goes up 5 times. We went to 20 million in revenue. We opened up our 3rd branch in Los Angeles. Then we introduced one of our first product differentiators. One of the things that I first came into this business is that I couldn't understand how solar worked. Still really don't. I've never been on a roof. I don't understand the electrical aspect of it, so I apologize in advance if you guys ask me technical questions and I say I don't know. So, but in that, I just realized, man, it's really hard to understand, and the consumer wants to just know that their system is producing. And so there's a lot of advantages to purchasing your system, but it would be awesome if you could create a 25-year production guarantee similar to a PPA or lease. And so we were able to do that in 2016. And rather than explain it to you, I'm going to show you a short video.
Everybody has their reasons for going solar. A great investment, saving on their electricity bill, energy independence, and doing their part to help the environment. Whatever your reasons are, congratulations on outfitting your home to make the largest possible impact. Now, not all solar installations are the same. How do you know that yours is actually working the way that it's supposed to? And what if it's not producing the amount of energy as promised? If you, like most homeowners, have these concerns, then you'll be excited to learn about one of the many features that makes Freedom Forever both unique and the best choice for your solar solution. When you partner with Freedom Forever, we'll guarantee your solar production for 25 years. While other companies may shy away from production issues, we have your back. Here's how we do it. First, our engineers survey your property, carefully reviewing your electrical system, taking into account the roof and all shading elements. After finalizing your solar system design, we'll precisely calculate the production for your solar system and make sure it matches with your solar agreement. Once the system has been professionally installed, we top things off by setting you up with production monitoring, which will ensure that your system is up and running 24/7, 365 days a year, guaranteed. We'll make sure that what you've been promised is what you get. Not only will we repair and maintain your solar system free of charge, if the system does not produce what we've promised, we'll reimburse you for any shortfall. How's that for peace of mind? Thanks for letting me share a little bit about our 25-year production guarantee. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to your sales rep. I'm looking forward to welcoming you to Freedom Forever very soon.
This takes you to 2017. So the production guarantee was a huge success. Those dealers that have been in the home, knowing how it gives you a competitive advantage versus every other purchase, I know it's been a huge part of us getting to our 55 million in revenue in 2017. We also opened up our 4th and 5th branch in Arizona, and then also our Bay Area branch in Dublin. Then you take to 2018, which we're talking about today, all right? 200 million plus in revenue. And again, I just want to applause to you guys. You guys are amazing. From 1.7 million in 2014, just amazing. Also, we started now in 2018, we just started scratching the surface on our pre-sale process. So Zach and Marissa and Son and his team put together the contract generator, which has been an amazing success that I think has really helped, but that's just the start of helping the pre-sale process. We also were able to open our Nevada branch, our Colorado branch, and then the introduction of the customer portal.
Most homeowners miss a very important aspect when selecting a solar installation company. As a result, they're kept in the dark, leading to a less than desirable experience. We are, of course, talking about solid, dependable communication. What's great about Freedom Forever is that we build this quality communication into every step of the process, making it just as important as installing the panels themselves. Every time you reach an important project milestone or schedule an appointment with us, you'll receive an email confirmation within 24 hours. Shortly after you begin your journey with Freedom Forever, we'll also give you access to your customer portal. The customer portal is your source for all of your project-related details. Project information and appointment dates and times can be viewed right inside of your portal at any time. No last-minute surprises or confusion. Remember that while we always push along every step of the process to get you the shortest possible installation time, we do not control the interconnection process. The utility's response time varies widely. Fortunately, you are just about to put yourself in the driver's seat and make your own electricity. Congratulations on going solar. We're thrilled to have an opportunity to serve you.
This is a true story. This was inspired by the Domino's pizza tracker, all right, where you could actually go to Domino's, you order pizza, you can see exactly where your pizza is. Now, obviously, it takes a lot longer than 30 minutes to install a system, but we wanted to create a customer-centric experience where they could see what's going on. The lack of communication between the customer and the installation companies is stunning. Many times, they don't even call. They might call to schedule the install, but that's it. There is a lack of communication, and that creates a less than desirable customer experience. And I think we've really changed this, and that's been a huge part of it. So now it takes you to 2019. This is what I get really excited about, is that we are a company that a lot of companies in solar, and you hear about it with a lot of the publicly traded companies, you'll have seasonality in the business where you do really well in the summer and then you struggle more in the winter. Well, I can just tell you right now, in January, we had our best month ever in the company's history. We broke our summer records. And that's just a credit to the people, especially in the front. You guys are amazing dealers. Thank you so much for making that happen. And while we're excited about all of our branches, we're especially excited about Illinois. Illinois has just a lot of population. Less than 0.1% of the state of Illinois has solar. And I can tell you there's not a lot of competent installers out there. So we think that, other than California, will be our second most successful branch, and that will be open in March. Also, second quarter, Texas is on tap. Third quarter, Utah. And fourth quarter, Oregon. We are looking at ways to accelerate and get into the Northeast, but right now I can't confidently announce that. But you could see some surprises like Massachusetts coming in 2019. So the one thing that I will tell you is I always love to hear constructive criticism about what we can do better. And the one thing that we can do better, and we talk a lot about Podio and how transparent it is, but there is 600 to 700 notifications for every single project. The problem with that is it's just so much information. I right now have 80,000 notifications that I haven't read. All right, and I know a lot of you guys, you can't read them all. All right, there's somebody in the front row, Jake, called me and said, is there any way to turn off my Podio notifications because I can't handle them? All right, and so what we've done is we've tried to create the most pertinent information from Podio and put it into our new dealer portal. Now, I'm going to show you a brief video on that. We're beta testing it right now. So after I finished, staff is going to go back to work because Val made it very clear that they need to get back to the office. And today's event is not an excuse to not get your work done today, too. And she wanted me to make sure that I reiterate that. But in all seriousness, this portal is amazing, but during lunch, the dealers are going to stay here, and I'm going to bring Zach and his team up here to answer any questions because they're software developers. I have no idea how they do what they do. So I'm going to give you a little brief video on the new dealer portal.
Hey everyone, we're excited to tell you about the progress of our new and improved Freedom Forever dealer portal. We have just completed phase 1, and we've packed it with a ton of new features. It's going to make working together easier and faster than ever. You'll have greater control and deeper insight on all of your projects. And you'll be able to make your customers so happy with on-demand updates on the progress of their installs. And we're only in phase 1. So let's take a quick look. Check out our new projects dashboard. It now allows you to sort your details by their current stage in production. That's got to be helpful. Even better yet, when you go to the new project details page, you'll get an overview of all the specifics on that project, including its current process stage, how long it's been since the last stage change, system price, system size, and a list of tasks for that specific project. You can even upload files right there. Just drag and drop. In our new task management tool, you can log the completion of any task that we've assigned to you, and you can create tasks for our dealer support or project coordinators to complete for you. Nice, right? Need to revise a scope of work and generate a change order for the customer to sign? They're both now automated, saving a ton of time. We understand that communication is the key to working together, so we've made it easier for you to send us comments and questions on your tasks. And with phase 1 now in place, we can notify you immediately if a project has moved stages or has a comment, if a file has been changed, a task has been edited, or most importantly, if you've been assigned to a project. We think you'll enjoy working with our new dealer portal, and our dealer support staff will be there for you to answer any questions you have about using it.
The question I get asked the most from insiders is how were we able to grow this fast, all right? And people that come from in the industry will say, and stay in business. People from outside the industry don't add that part. But the one thing I will tell you is that we talk about disruption all the time. And a lot of people hear disruption and they hear the negativity in the word. But I can tell you, I have never seen an industry that needs more disrupting than solar, all right? The lack of character and integrity, the amount of people that are no longer in this business because of the stuff that has went on over the past decade is sad, because it's such an amazing thing. And remember, I've heard all the horror stories, but this is the only solar company that I know. But I know the stuff that's out there. I've seen our competition, and we are going to disrupt it with competence. And people will either need to elevate their game or they need to go out of business. That sounds negative, but it's true. And that's as righteous as I can be. They need to go out of business. I am sick and tired of the lack of competence in our industry. It's going to be companies like Vivint and Freedom Forever that make that happen. And that's a good thing for all of us. You guys have been in the home competing against an unethical salesperson. That stuff needs to stop. And we have to make it stop. And we can affect change. And that's why disruption is so important for us. The other thing is processing. Process and execution. We talked about our SOPs, our standard operating procedures, but I'll tell you what, if you have the right process and you don't execute, it doesn't matter. You need to have both to be competent and to be good. And that's the challenge that I have to our staff, is a lot of times we'll have process, and if we do make a mistake, like David says, on that 1 out of 10, it's because somebody didn't execute the process. Follow the process. That is so important. We talk about the process, it's about execution too. Other thing is customer centricity. So, and we all talk about it, we use fancy phrases like customer centricity, but that's what our 25-year production guarantee is about. That is what our customer portal and our communication is about. That is about how we serve our customers and our dealers, all right? And also the last thing is we've talked about our singular focus on post-sale excellence. I think we're a very good installer. I think we're best-in-class installer, but obviously I lack objectivity. But I really do believe that. But the one thing that we have neglected is the pre-sale process. I've talked about it a lot. So I've been around for 4 years. I've been trying to figure out who has the best pre-sale process. The one thing I would tell you, it's Vivint. And that's one of the reasons where I believe that we're very complementary as companies. And you take their pre-sale process with our post-sale process, and I think you got a Lamborghini. So, and that's what we're looking at. And the other thing is why we're doing this is this partnership really does allow both companies to increase and accelerate the adoption of residential solar. So people are, a lot of times they get into business, we know we're doing good, but how can we really make a change? Climate change is real and it's happening. No one really knows, can we reverse climate change? We don't know, but what we can control is increasing the percentage of people that adopt solar in their residence. And by cleaning up this industry and disrupting the industry, we can make that happen along with Vivint. So the last thing I want to do is I want to look at a quote. And I love to use my quotes, and usually I love to have names like Albert Einstein or something out of the Bible or a scripture or something like this. But I chose, and the most impactful thing I've ever seen in solar was a Facebook post from Arnold Schwarzenegger in late 2015, where he was going after climate skeptics. So this is about half the quote, so I'm gonna read it to you. There are 2 doors. Behind door number 1 is a completely sealed room with a regular gasoline-fueled car. Behind door number 2 is an identical, completely sealed room with an electric car. Both engines are running full blast. I want you to pick a door to open and enter the room and shut the door behind you. You have to stay in the room you choose for 1 hour. You cannot turn off the engine. You do not get a gas mask. I'm guessing you chose door number 2 with the electric car. Door number 1 is a fatal choice. Who would ever want to breathe those fumes? This is the choice the world is making right now. So I remember thinking when I made that decision to not go to seminary is that would I regret that choice? Because I knew my time was running out. And I knew if I was going to do it, this was the last opportunity. And I stand before you 4 years later and tell you, I'm very thankful that I did. All right? And the reason I am is because I think I am making more of an impact. And I am here to show you that I am here to serve everyone in this room and everyone, all right, on the live streaming. I'm going to do my best as a leader to serve you guys. But we can really make an impact. This is really, really important. I have a little bit more experience than most of the people in the room. There's maybe a couple exceptions out there. But I will tell you right now, there is not another industry where you can save people money, make a living, and save the world. So, and it may not be your kids. It may be your grandkids. It may be your kids' grandkids. But it's incumbent upon us to act now. And to be able to do something that's so amazing is incredible. And the one thing that I try to do with everyone is I'm going to push people to the limit. And that's a good thing. I try to push people out of their comfort zones. I want people to be uncomfortable here at Freedom Forever. Because we're going to do things that other people have never, ever thought that they could accomplish in their mind. And we can do it. I've seen it happen over and over and over. All right? It's about dreams, but executing. And focused execution to achieve those dreams. And I can tell you, I am humbled and thankful for everyone in here. Because the reality is, I don't create anything. Of all the companies I've made an investment in, I've never created one. I'm not an inventor. Greg started this company, he's the founder. I'll never be the founder. What my goal is to push everyone to make this place a better place and an impact on the world. You can all do that. Everyone can play their part. And don't think that you can't. I cannot stand when people go, I can't make an impact. And if you're not fulfilled here, all right, talk to us, talk to your managers. We have to get better. And thank you so much. Again, I want to give another shout out to all of our branches. I know we have some installers because it's raining that are on here. I don't know how you do it. I've never been on a roof. It scares the heck out of me. And the work that you guys do is amazing. And I look around the room. I would love to call out everybody by name, but I love you all. I thank you for everything that you do for freedom. And I will tell you that I want you guys all be a part of a legacy. And it's not too early to be talking and thinking about the legacy. I wish I would have had the urgency at 30 that I have at 50. Almost everybody in this room is younger than me. Man, push yourselves. You guys can make an impact, and you can make an impact here. Everyone matters here, and I thank you. The last thing I want to do, all right, is I want to talk to the dealers, all right? The dealers and their reps, you guys have a choice to go anywhere. You guys are amazing. I thank you so much, and we are so humbled, our staff, that you give us the opportunity to serve you. And I really mean that. So we have no business. We have no W-2 salespeople in our company. So we are 100% dependent on you, and we like it that way. And we're committed to the independent contract, the independent dealer network. And that is really, really cool. But it really pushes us to serve and do a really, really good job for you. And we will continue to strive and get better. And I will tell you, as David said, we're going to make mistakes. But it's how we deal, staff, with adversity. You guys hear me say it all the time. Your true character is shown in times of adversity. When we make mistakes, we need to fix it. You need to own up to them. And we need to do a good job for you guys. So thank you. Last thing is, all right, is that staff, you guys are excused to go back to the office. Val wanted me to make sure that I ended with that. And then dealers, I want you to stay here. So we have a packed afternoon. We have Lone Pal is going to be making a special presentation. We have Troy that's going to come up and is going to get very granular about Vivint and some of their tools. I didn't spend a lot of time on it because they can eloquently explain how awesome their pre-sale process. And once again, thank you so much.